review a mutant plural is... Hello, grammarians. I wanted to talk to you again about mutant plurals. So to review a mutant plural is there are only 7 of them in English, and they all change sound when they pluralize. You don't add an S, you don't add an EN, you don't change the ending, you change the vowel. And there are only 7. They go like this. There's man, woman, tooth, foot, mouse, louse, and goose. And these words become, in the plural, men, women, teeth, feet, mice, lice, geese. Now, the reason that we have these 7 weird mutant plurals in English is kind of complicated, but I'm lucky enough to be able to work with an actual linguist. Hello, Jake.
Hey, grammarian.
Jake, is it true that you are a linguist?
Yep, it's true.
Alright, so Jake, what is the deal with feet? Where do these mutant plurals come from? If we take the word foot and we drag it through history, how do we get to the plural as feet? What's the deal with that?
So if you look at a lot of Germanic languages that are around today, you find similar words to the English word foot. In German we have the word Fuß, in Dutch we have the word Foot. And when you have a lot of different languages with slight variations of a word, it means there's some old word out there that all these words are coming from. So we can pretty much be sure that there's some Proto-Germanic word that sounds something like foot. Now, back in those days, there was a different way to form the plural, and that was to add an E sound at the end of a word. So if the word was foot, then the plural was maybe footy. That means many foots. Now there's a tendency in language that you have to understand here. It's called vowel harmony. Basically means vowels within a given word, they like to sound like each other. So if you have 2 syllables, those syllables will start to the vowels in those syllables will start to converge. And in Germanic languages especially, there's one typical kind of vowel harmony, which is that you have two vowels in a word. The first vowel will try to sound more like the second vowel if that second vowel is the E sound, just like in the plural formation of nouns.
So you're saying that the suffix E at the end of this proposed word, footy, the oo sound tried to sound more like the E sound. This is just a pattern that we found in Germanic languages.
Exactly. It's very prevalent in Germanic languages. Also exists in some Romance languages, some tiny Romance languages.
So what happens when you combine the oo sound with the E sound? What sound do you get?
Well, strangely, you get the E sound. The sound
What is that?
E sound.
Are you okay?
I think I'm okay. You know, we linguists have to deal with this kind of thing all the time.
Sorry.
We have very strong stomachs.
Mm-hmm.
You still get this sound in languages like German and Dutch.
So then that's what this is, right? So this sound, or I guess the plural of German Fuß is what? You said Füße? So bring this home for me. So at some point in the development of English, or of all these Germanic languages, we had the foot, we had this word foot, and then it turned into footy, and then it turned into what? And it turned into footy?
Something like Füti, right.
Okay.
Now, eventually that E sound dropped out of English, which is why it's so hard for us to pronounce. And it was replaced in pretty much all cases with the E sound. So we get the word fiti, and then the E drops off, and we're left with foot as the singular and feet as the plural.
Cool. So it goes from foot to feet.
Now, the same exact thing happened with the word mouse, which probably used to be moose, because in Frisian, which is the closest cousin to English, the word for mouse still is moose.
Moose?
And you find similar things in a lot of Germanic languages, like Maus in Dutch and Maus in German. The plural became Musi, and then eventually Nisi. Then you get Mies. Then during a few hundred years later, during the Great Vowel Shift, that Mies becomes mice. A lot of E vowels in the Great Vowel Shift about 500 years ago became I vowels.
So this is sort of the broad pattern these mutant words all take. Is this umlaut mutation, right? Because this little these double dots that go over let's take a smiley face. That go over a vowel change its color, right? Change its meaning.
And that process is called either umlaut mutation or I mutation. Not I like the cycle, I like the letter.
Well, I hope that cleared some things up for you. You can learn anything. David out.
Jake out.
That was a high five, not a slap. Hello, grammarians. I wanted to talk to you again about mutant plurals. So to review, a mutant plural is there are only 7 of them in English, and they all change sound when they pluralize. You don't add an S, you don't add an EN, you don't change the ending, you change the vowel. And there are only 7, they go like this. There's man, woman, tooth, foot, mouse, louse, and goose. And these words become, in the plural, men, women, teeth, feet, mice, lice, geese. Now, the reason that we have these 7 weird mutant plurals in English is kind of complicated, but I'm lucky enough to be able to work with an actual linguist. Hello, Jake.
Hey, grammarians.
Jake, is it true that you are a linguist?
Yep, it's true.
All right, so Jake, what is the deal with feet? Where do these mutant plurals come from? If we take the word foot and we drag it through history, how do we get to the plural as feet? What's the deal with that?
So if you look at a lot of Germanic languages that are around today, you find similar words to the English word foot. In German we have the word Fuß, In Dutch, we have the word voet. And when you have a lot of different